Was good, y'all. Anora releases tomorrow, so it's time for the final verdict. What can she do? Who is she going to help? How will the future look like? And yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to be talking about here. So, number one, her kit. Her kit is set in stone. They're not going to touch it, at least not at the moment. And Sanctity makes her immune to all buffs that we have currently at the moment. And also Rage Regen, besides removing Laurel. That's the way it is for the moment, and that's part of her kit. Furthermore, she is a summoner. And basically, I think if you go to the gallery, she should also have like a summoner tag. Gallery. There we go. Basically, all the units that have a summon tag do also interact with Anora, because Anora boosts the damage of other summons. So every unit with the summoner tag is now looking like they're going to go into one big new archetype. And that archetype is missing exactly one thing, and that is a buffer. A buffer that boosts summons specifically. That is what that archetype is missing. And overall, my conclusion on Anora is she is a unique and a key part of an archetype that isn't viable at the moment. In the future we get more units that fit in there, but for the moment the archetype isn't viable as a whole. Let's not forget about the most important thing in a positive but also in a negative sense, and that is that she has a bond skill. Anora is a limited hero and she has a bond skill, and that bond skill works together with Immerit. And with the way it looks at the moment, Immerit is an ancient exclusive Lord class hero, while Anora is a legendary limited hero. So Anora, obviously 250 summons you get her, and then you also get the bond skill for Immerit that has no guarantee at all, being a Lord type ancient or exclusive. So how important is she for Immerit? Honestly, that 20% chance to inflict an extra stack of Winter's Bite is rather crucial, because Immerit's whole kit also revolves around Winter's Bite, but it's not to the point where you need her to get the most out of him. The crazy part is this right here. This special interaction where Immerit just gets a second life while he inherits. So basically he turns into an egg. If you can defend that egg for 20 seconds, he comes back, right? There obviously will be ways of you playing around that mechanic, so it's not like you need her to get the most out of it, but it's a unique part of his kit and a very important part for his synergy, having this bond skill unlocked. Now the other way around, how important is an ancient exclusive Lord type hero for the power of Anora? The answer for that is by checking out Labor. Labor inherits 100% stats and deals 90% to 8 enemies. Labor Ice also inherits 100% stats, but deals 15% more damage to controlled enemies, so frozen, slowed, immobilized, stuff like that. And each attack deals 110% AoE damage to up to 8 enemies, with also an additional chance to inflict Winter's Bite. So Winter's Bite is again the thing that Immerit interacts with. So to fully bring the Immerit kit out, you need to have Labor Ice on the field. That obviously then, because of Anora, boosts his bond skill and also does Winter's Bites themselves. So the interaction between Labor Ice and Immerit, and also you're dealing 20% more AoE damage as well as 15% more damage overall. Is it super crazy? Is it like okay, and Anora is only worth it if you have Immerit? No. The difference isn't all that big. You're still going to be able to have her do what she's supposed to do. It is just that there is a really big amount of synergy between her and Immerit. So overall, I would say it doesn't compare. Like, in no way, shape or form does it compare to the strength of what a Silas Bond gives you. A Silas Bond legit doubles his damage, and that's a fact. It doubles his damage, as proven countless times. It is not as useless as a Salazar bond, where he increases his max HP. It's not as useless as that. It is more similar to how an Arrogance just gains a bit more attack if you do have a Lust, or how a Lust... for Lust, the Arrogance is actually more important than Lust. So pretty much imagine Arrogance being Anora and Lust being Imrit. This is kind of the scenario here, but even to a bit lesser degree. So this is the whole importance of the bond skill. What can you expect from Anora, and where can you expect her to shine? So artifact material rates, you don't really have to think about it because it's single target content. Guild Boss 1, same thing, single target content. Guild Boss 2, yes, immune to poison, but only a single unit, and again single target content. Gear rates. Gear Dungeon 1. With the way her support options are looking like and everything going, she has a support role. She's not going to be your main DPS for Gear Dungeon 1, and she's also not going to be specifically the reason why you beat it. You're going to insert her into a formation of already popular units, like for example Artemis's, Viana's, Dolores's, Karmets, and then she's going to help you succeed. She's not going to be the one-man wrecking crew. She's also not going to be useful all that much. If you do get her exclusive artifact, she does get a bit more useful, and that might open up another way to do it if you do it perfectly, but for the moment you just insert her into a team and you win. If you want to see an example for that, I have a video called Dahlia and Anora Showdown, where you can have a look at Anora's performance in all these gear dungeons, or overall. Gear Dungeon 2, once more AoE magic damage instead of single target damage wanted instead of AoE damage. Keep in mind, there will be at least minimum 2 more gear dungeons. So Gear Dungeon 3 and Gear Dungeon 4. The schematics and the way gear dungeons work at the moment is that you have to defend a lot of lanes, pay attention to a lot of stuff. Which means for Gear Dungeon 3 and 4 there might be lanes where you can just place a single unit. And then Anora might be the king because you don't need to support her, nor would you be able to support a unit in that position. And that's basically kind of the way we're going with Gear Dungeon 1, where you can't place everything in one lane and then win. Gear Rate 1, Anora is pretty amazing in Gear Rate 1, might not be for the reasons that you think. So the way you play with Anora is going to look something like this. If we take a look at the map, Anora is going to be right here on any of these sides. So let's say Anora is here with a single healer, and that's all you need for her because you can't boost her any further. I guess you could put a Laurel there and then put out her. But then you have this lane right here, and that is where you, for example, put down an anti-heal option, or like your Dolores and your other damage dealer. Basically, she can do stuff on her own, and she's still most likely going to out-damage any epic even boosted by a Dolores. It's crazy, and that's the way she works. She's pretty strong. She's going to strong arm a whole side without any support, and then you can focus your whole attention on making the other side as strong as possible. So overall for Gear Dungeon 1, absolutely amazing pick. Gear Dungeon 2, also again more of a, you put her in, but she's not going to be the best option, nor is she the only option. You would rather use, for example, like an AoE focused epic like Maul and give him the same gear you would need to give an Anora to make her work. And then we have Gear Dungeon 3, obviously Anora doesn't hit, nor the same way she does magic damage too. So honestly, Anora Gear Rate 3 really is a no-go. And that leaves us with Immortal Codex. Honestly, there is no codex where you need an AoE mage. At the moment there is no codex where you need an AoE mage, but the last codex we got was one where you needed AoE marksman. So potentially the next codex might be about AoE mages, though for the moment Immortal Codex she really doesn't have any value. Faction Triads, obviously, she's going to perform really well in the Trial of Cultists and the Trial of Esotericists, that's just the way it is, and if you're lacking for damage options there, do pick her. Tide, honestly everyone is good in Tide. one of the reasons why she's better than others in Tide is that even at A0 she's able to go up to 94,600 BP. I guess a bit higher, but yeah. Now, how do you build her, and what is at the end the final verdict? So building wise, it's super simple. Because you can't boost them with invigoration, you just go full on attack, some attack speed, full on crit rate, and then crit damage based on whatever you have, right? You can still manage based on the content. So if it's content where there's rather low defenses, then you might as well go for one more piece. But at the end of the day, you're running either triple attack or double attack, one time crit damage, right? Left side, kind of same thing, attack percent, crit rate, crit damage, or attack percent, crit rate, attack speed. Last sub is whatever. And here again, also attack percent, crit rate, crit damage, attack flat, or attack percent, crit rate, attack speed, attack flat, whatever you have, right? Artifact wise, there's really two choices. You either go with the Tear of Twilight or you go with the exclusive artifact. From the way it looks, the exclusive artifact might even rival 25 Tear of Twilight, which is pretty fucking nice. And let me give you a little hint, you are going to be able to get Anora's exclusive artifact, and that's all I'm going to say about it. Oh yeah, probably no matter your performance on like stage 9 and 10, but okay, so yeah, overall conclusion wise, she's going to be the cornerstone of a genre that doesn't exist yet, a cornerstone of a genre that isn't fleshed out yet. But me personally, and for those that still have the summons to afford her, you should summon for her. Also, for the new account that we're starting from tomorrow onwards, we are also going to go in, play, and use our very first legendary, guaranteed at around 60 summons, on the Anora banner. Hopefully getting her, which would be a really amazing start to a new account. So, yeah, Tear Twilight, and yeah, that is Anora for you. How does she compare to Lucius? Honestly, just from straight up value in end game content, Lucius is probably stronger than Anora, because Lucius is really good in Gear Dungeon, in Guild Boss 2. He works really well in Guild Boss 1, and I mean, I will definitely try him in Gear Raid 3, and that's what you're going to see tomorrow, the day before Lucius actually releases. So yeah, this has been my final verdict on Anora. Peace and out.